The following is a special presentation of Big Polly's World of Sports Sims, alternating the reality of sports and entertainment since 2020. Hello, everybody, and welcome to our last game for week number 6. Here on the Hometown Football League, we'll be playing out Los Angeles and Kansas City. In about 15-20 minutes or so. But first, we're going to recap the other 11 games that occurred in week number 6. And I have a commercial for you all. So let's get to it. We will start with the first game we didn't do this week. We do 5 a week, and this is the day on Friday that we play out the games that did not occur, that we did not televise this week or put on video or on a stream or what have you. Buffalo and Carolina is our first stop, and Carolina having trouble stopping anybody. They fall to 1-5 after succumbing to the Bills by the final of 30-10 in Charlotte. And we will show you that Jim Kelly was the MVP, throwing a couple of touchdowns. And Kablitsky had a 4-yard run. We'll show you the team stats and not comment on them. And we'll just pause for a moment. And we'll go over the player stats in 3, 2, 1. So Kelly had a pretty decent game, but actually Cam Newton had the better game, 18-25, 223 yards, a touchdown. Kelly, 27 for 45, but he threw for 419, 2 touchdowns in that 107.5 clip. Leading rusher was Williams, D'Angelo Williams of Carolina, 8 carries and 40 yards. Leading pass catcher was Baldwin, 11 for 151. Terrell Owens not that far behind. Yes, he played for the Bills at one point. 6 for 116. And your leading tackler was Beeson of Carolina with 12. So that's one game down and 11 to go. Carolina losing 30-10. They each play in the Eastern Division, so Buffalo moves to 3-3 and Carolina 1-5. Philadelphia could join them as a cellar dweller. They are 1-4 and Pittsburgh 2-3. Remember, these are all rematches from week number 1, and Pittsburgh prevails 16-10. In this one, we had a bunch of field goals. Roethlisberger won MVP through a 43-yarder to Hines Ward that proved to be the difference maker. And again, we'll just show you the team stats and not comment on them. And if you need to see them, go back and hit pause. Philadelphia scored in their only trip to the red zone, and Pittsburgh kicked 3 field goals. Garcia threw a couple of passes, so he must have been called into duty into this game. Roethlisberger had the better QB rating, 22 of 39, 281 yards, 1 touchdown. It was LaShawn McCoy, 13 carries, 65 yards to lead all rushers. Leading pass catcher was Antonio Brown, who Tampa Bay fans would still rather not talk about. 8 catches for 101. People in Tampa will be spitting when they ever bring up his name. LeMaster for the Eagles, the high tackler with 11. So 16-10, and that places Philadelphia now in the tie for last place in the Eastern Division. But keep in mind, we still got 12 weeks to go after these games are complete, so anything can happen and probably will. New England and Baltimore. This was a Monday night game, week 1. In New England, I think Baltimore won it. And New England returns the favor in the rematch, a 31-27 win. Your MVP for the game was Wes Welker. And the deciding Score was a 55-yard pass, Drew Bledsoe to Wes Welker. We had a lot of big plays. We had kick return for Hobbs for 107 yards. We had Lewis retrieving a punt back 80. And a 71-yard pass from Flacco to Berry. So a lot of yardage in this game, you would think, but it was only 677 yards. 12 penalties in the game, so was sloppy. And we'll go to the player stats now. Flacco had the better game just barely, 23 of 44 for 262. By a yard, Jamal Lewis had the best rushing game, 12 for 38. Berry had 7 for 125 for Baltimore, the Ravens. The Welker had 6 for 103. And your leading defender was Haynes. Actually, Haynes and Ray Lewis. Haynes for New England and Lewis for Baltimore each had 8 tackles. So Baltimore now ties New England at 4-2 atop the Eastern Division of the HTFL. And everybody has played 6 games, so it's a 3-way tie in the East. New England, Washington, and Baltimore. New York a game back. Pittsburgh a game back. Buffalo a game back. So you got 6 teams within a game of each other. On Monday, we played Washington defeating New York 14-6. On Tuesday, we played Cleveland over Cincinnati 24-12 in honor of the Bengals and their Super Bowl appearance. This will be the last game I do before the Super Bowl, so looking forward to the big game on Sunday, as I'm sure most of America, I bet you NBC gets a very high rating for it. St. Louis and Indianapolis. And it is by 3 points. St. Louis prevailing 29-26, a Northern Division battle. We'll go back to the complete and show you that Farrell was player of the game. He had a 27-yard run in the first quarter. But the game was not decided till 1:17 left when Lomax threw a 40-yard pass to Marshall Faulk. And they hit a 2-point conversion to widen the lead out to 3. Here are your team stats. Indianapolis led in plays 69-52 and had the ball just a little bit longer than St. Louis did. Lomax 16-28, 251, 2 touchdowns, gave up 2 sacks. Farrell had a 100-yard game, 114 to be exact, on just 10 carries. Dallas Clark of Indianapolis, 9 catches for 75, but Jackie Smith had a 3-catch game for 80 yards. His 80 yards led everybody. And your leading tackler was Wilson for St. Louis, the Maroons. 9 tackles. So St. Louis 29 and Indianapolis 26. That puts St. Louis to 4-2 in the Northern Division. Indianapolis now falls to 2-4. Jacksonville and Atlanta will be our next stop. Atlanta, a 6-point favorite at home. And they don't cover, but they win 16-14. Just listening to Gambling with an Edge, and they were talking about the Super Bowl prop bets. One of the shows I listened to on a podcast. Jones, the MVP, Julio Jones. And this actually was decided late in the third quarter when Matt Bryant hit a 36-yarder. Team stats coming your way now. Jacksonville basically was kept out of the red zone. Atlanta held it for 31-16, 65 plays to Jacksonville's 54. Okay, so Gerard actually had the better game, 21-34, 254. Leading rusher was Dickerson, 15 carries, 67 yards. Julio Jones, listen to this, 13 catches, 239 yards. They could not stop Julio Jones, and they couldn't even hope to contain him. Leading tackler was Ramsey of Jacksonville with 12. So 239 yards receiving. Julio Jones had a big day. It was me and Julio, and it wasn't at a schoolyard. It was at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. Atlanta now going 4-2. They are going to be tied at the very least with New Orleans on top of the South Division. Tampa Bay and Houston we have yet to play. They are behind by half a game at this point of the recaps. Chicago 4-1. They lead the North. Detroit 3-2. If Detroit wins, they catch up to Chicago. And they do. Oh, 38-10. I bet you Barry had a big day. No, it was Bobby Lane who took the MVP honors. He ran a touchdown, threw a 33-yarder to Sanders, and threw three more. 28-yarder to Johnson, 2-yarder to Moore, 17 to Sanders. So Lane had a hand in all of the touchdowns that Detroit scored. Chicago scored on a 11-yard Sid Luckman pass to Mike Ditka for the Bears. Detroit 393 yards to 282. They scored every trip on the red zone, held the ball 38-33. Look how they did on third down. They were 11 out of 18. 73 plays to Chicago's 48. Lane 26 of 42, 314 yards, 4 touchdowns, gave up 1 sack. Leading rusher was Peyton, 8 for 36. Leading pass catcher was Jones, 10 for 85, but Hill of Chicago had the better day yardage-wise, 4 for a $1.16. And your leading tackler was Fortunato for Chicago with 11. So Detroit now at 4-2, as is Chicago. And you could have if Minnesota loses to Green Bay, you could have a 5-way tie. But Green Bay has been a little slow out of the gate. Minnesota wins 20-13, so they will have sole possession of first place in the Northern Division. And it was Welsh with a couple of field goals in the fourth quarter, putting the game away. Tarkenton threw identical 19-yard passes to Chris Carter we think it's Chris Carter, in the rain. Heavy rain at TCF Bank Stadium, because I forgot to set Minnesota to their new stadium. But we're just going to leave it at that. Maybe their new dome stadium is under renovation. You never know. There you see the team stats. Minnesota doing a little better. Green Bay had 69 plays and Minnesota 57. And it was quarterback by committee. You had 3 different guys passing the ball for Green Bay. But and Aaron Rodgers had the better day, 16 of 33, 235. Tarkenton 12 of 30, 266, but he threw for 2 touchdowns. Adrian Peterson 22 carries for a $1.17, so he did well. You had 2 guys go over 100. Chris Carter 5 for a $1.17, Diggs 5 for a $1.22. And Winston led all defenders with 11 tackles. So, Minnesota sole possession of first place as we go into week number 7 with that 20-13 win. Tampa Bay will try to stay atop the South Division. They play Tennessee, who has yet to win. And it stays that way. Tennessee falling to 0-6 after a 13-3 win. And it was 65 at calm at the Nissan Stadium in Nashville. It was Jameis Winston who got the start. He threw a 16-yard pass to Carrier. Brady must be hurt. Baronis with a field goal for Tennessee. That was the lone scoring for them. You see the stats there. Tampa Bay pretty dominant. Held the ball 34-24, ran 64 plays to Tennessee's 35. Yeah, it was Winston coming in for 1 play. That's what happened. Brady must have got hurt, must have come back. He went 20 of 36, 263, and threw one pick, but it was Jameis Winston who came in, threw one touchdown on one pass. So his rating was perfect at 158.3. Leading rusher, Warwick Dunn, 12 carries, 56 yards. It was Keyshawn Johnson with 7 catches for 93, but the yardage leader was Mark Carrier, the wide receiver, not the defensive back for the Bears, 6 for 121. And defensively, Roll and Bullock and Tulloch each all had 7 tackles for Tennessee, as did Zach Brown. So he had a 4-way tie with 7 tackles on Tennessee's side. So the Bucks are going to stay a tie atop the Southern Division of the HTFL with a 4-2 mark. Houston is the only team that could catch them right now. Earlier in the week, on Wednesday, we played the Saints and the Dolphins. The Saints prevailed 34-31. So we go to another Lone Star battle between Houston and Dallas. Houston, a win will keep them tied in the South, but it's Dallas who wins 34-10. They go to 3-3 on the year, as does Houston. And we will go back and show you the MVP was Jason Witten. Roger Staubach with 3 touchdowns, 2 throwing, and the big one was a 56-yard strike at the end of the first quarter to Jason Witten. So that's why Witten took Player of the Game honors. And Walt Garrison scored a touchdown. Bailey kicked a couple of field goals. Earl Campbell got the scoring going with an 8-yard run. 34-10. And we'll show you the team stats real fast. 411 yards for Dallas. Perfect in the red zone, although they kicked 2 field goals. 59 plays to Houston's 51. Player stats. Staubach, 19 of 26, 318, 2 touchdowns. Leading rusher, Ezekiel Elliott, 19 for 48. Leading pass catcher, Witten, 10 for 205. No wonder why he took Player of the Game honors. And Williams and Bishop with 7 tackles each for Houston to lead everybody. So Dallas 34, Houston 10. So all the games in the Southern Division, you have everybody within 1 game of each other, but Tennessee is 0-6, they're 3 back. So you got 7 teams within 1 game of each other in the South Division. Arizona and Denver will be our next stop. Whoops. Meant to hit auto here, folks. Sorry. It's not the game we're doing today. It's Arizona losing. They fall to 1-5. Kurt Warner and Emmitt Smith not helping them out at all. 27-13 the final score. MVP was Peyton Manning, who threw a 34-yarder to Smith and a 10-yarder to Shannon Sharp to seal the deal with 1:35 to go. Yardage team stats. You see Denver only 2 trips to the red zone, picking up 352. And Arizona running 56 plays to Denver's 62. Manning, 23 for 37, 222 yards and 2 touchdowns. Leading rusher was Terrell Davis, 14 of 88. Shannon Sharp, 9 catches, 98 yards to lead everybody in catches and yardage. And Atwater for Denver with 10 tackles. So Denver, 27 and 13 for Arizona. Arizona dropping to 1-5. They're tied for last place with Seattle. San Diego could join them if they don't beat San Francisco. A San Francisco win would give them a tie with Las Vegas for first place. And your winner was, not surprisingly, San Francisco, 41-20. And the MVP was Frank Gore, who scored a 7-yard run to open the scoring, and then with 4:15 left in the fourth, he scored from 1 yard out. Abe Woodson returned to kick 105 yards. We saw in Season 1 here on the HTFL, he is a good kick return specialist. Right up there with Devin Hester and the fellow Dante Hall from Kansas City. Here are your team stats. San Francisco, dead solid, perfect in red zone. So was San Diego, but they only made one trip. 51 plays to San Francisco's 61. Steve Young was 13 of 27 for a $164, 2 touchdowns. Leading rusher Gore, 22 of 98, 2 touchdowns. Allworth of San Diego had the best receiving game, 6 catches, 107 yards, so he led in catches and yardage. Leading tackler was Phillips for San Diego with 11. So now we're set for the game you all came to see. It took me 20 minutes to do all of that. Los Angeles and Kansas City, so we'll be right back right after this commercial announcement. If you like the video you're watching, feel free to use the Amazon link provided. I'll put it in the description down below. Big Paulie back with you. Los Angeles and Kansas City is our game du jour for today. And since this is a night game, I shaved 10 off the temperature to make it 36 instead of 46. There is a bit of a breeze, 10 to 20 mile per hour. I will control Kansas City. The computer will control Los Angeles. We had these teams meet week 1, and that was a game we did earlier in the HTFL season, and they met 3 times last year because Kansas City met LA in the playoffs. So Kansas City is at home, Arrowhead Stadium, on a brisk October evening, and off we go. Deacon Jones with 3 sacks to start the year. Henry Ellard, 31 catches for 492, so he's having a good year. He's almost averaging 100 yards a game. Montana, 92.7. Goff is going to be your starter for LA with 81.8. At Los Angeles' combination of the Rams, the Raiders when they played in LA, the Chargers when they have played in LA, and the Dons. You could see a few LA Dons on the team from the old AAFC. Coin flip goes the way of Los Angeles, so Kansas City will receive, and they will be with the wind. Hall, we were just talking about Dante Hall. He's back deep. Charles and Holmes back deep for KC. And Hall catching it at about the 10. And a nice return for him, 32 yards to the 42. So your starters for Kansas City, Charles and Richardson, both 5 receivers. They are in the backfield. Smith and Bowe, a 9 and an 8, are your wideouts. Tony Gonzalez is a 9. Joe Montana, since Kansas City had an earlier selection pick, they got the pick before San Francisco, so they swiped the former 49er. He's out of Notre Dame. Trier, Shields, Rudney, Waters, and Schultz, a 10, 9, 8, 9, 8 blocking respectively. That's your offensive line, and we're just going to start it nice and easy with a dive by Jamal Charles. And Charles will pick up 4 yards. Donald on the stop for Los Angeles, who should be a pivotal player in the Super Bowl in a couple of days. Front 4 for LA, Donald, Jones, McLaughlin, and Olsen, 10 plus, 10, 9, 9 respectively. Kevin Green, Les Richter, and Robertson, a 9, an 8, and a 9 respectively at the linebacking positions. McDaniel and Irwin are a 9 and an 8. Cromwell and Rich are a 9 and an 8. Those are your defensive backs. 2nd and 6 will go Bowe on the short slant. And Casey has the wind advantage. Game of 5, and Nolan Cromwell, speak of the devil, his return will be probable. So in comes Will Sherman, an 8 safety. He's out of St. Mary's back when they played football. 3rd and a yard. Dive to Jamal Charles. LA stacking the line, and it will be just short of the first down. A 4th and inches situation at the 48. I'm going for it. Montana on a sneak. Don't even Gamble on the handoff. He gets the first down. It's a pickup of a yard. So Kansas City converts on a 4th down. That's probably a prop bet for the Super Bowl coming in a couple of days. Oh, we forgot to tell you all about the games we're going to do next week, so I'll do that after this game. Jamal Charles off tackle right, 1st and 10 at the 47. I knew I was forgetting something. Gain of 2. Jones on the tackle. That is Deacon Jones. Don't call him Deacon Blue. 2nd and 8. We'll go Taylor, Otis Taylor, on a medium crossing route on 2nd and 8. It's a dump off underneath to Tony Gonzalez, a gain of a yard. The aforementioned Sherman making the tackle. And it's 3rd and 7. We'll go Gonzalez this time on the short hitch. That's incomplete. Now, there's no chance of getting a field goal here from 61. So we'll have Terrell Wilson kick from the sideline. He was the punter for KC back in the 60s. That is a touchback. The angle of the ball was just not good enough to get over to the sideline. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Rams at their own 20 with 10:52 left in the opening frame. McCutcheon and Younger are a 5 and a 2. That is Tank Younger. Those are the receiving numbers for LA at the running back positions. Brown and Ellard a 10 and an 8. Those are your wideouts. Todd Christensen, who played for the LA Raiders, a 9 at tight end. Of course, Cliff Branch just made the Hall of Fame. Dick Vermeil and about 6 others. Congratulations to all. Goff is your quarterback. Of course, he's now with Detroit. Huffman, Wisniewski, Naumitz, Putnam, and Slater. Naumitz is a tough name to do with a dry mouth. 9, 10, 8, 9, 9. Those are their blocking numbers, respectively. And it's a 1st and 10 at the 20. We'll give you the KC defense. And that is straight up the middle for McCutcheon. He gains 23 yards. A good opening play for LA before Robinson gets to him for KC. And here is their defense. Allen, Smith, Buchanan, and Mays. 10, 9, 9, 8 defensively. Their defensive numbers. Bell, Lanier, and Halley, a 10, a 9, a 9. Those are your linebackers. Thomas and Lewis are both 9s. Robinson and Cherry are both 10s. And that's your defensive core. For Kansas City, 1st and 10 at the 43. They are off to a good start. And here is Younger gaining 7. Thomas making the stop at the 50. Derek Thomas. No, that is not Derek Thomas. That is Emmett Thomas. There we go. I'm sorry. 2nd and 3 at the HTFL logo at midfield. Goff looking and finding Tim Brown. Gain of 11. Lewis on the stop for Kansas City. Both teams 2 and 3 coming into this game. And they each made the playoffs last year, so they're both off the slow starts. 1st and 10 at the 39, but each team with good personnel. And here's Goff running, gaining 2 yards. Mays, we're on the stop. It'll be 2nd and 8 at the 37. 8:22 now to go. And this is going to be a 1st down for McCutcheon, gaining 10. Thomas on the stop. 1st and 10. Ball at the 27. 6th play at the drive. It's Goff. An incompletion looking for McCutcheon. And it's now a 2nd and 10 at the 27. Goff is going to run again. Gain of 7 yards. Of course, he was in Super Bowl 53, where the Rams could only muster 3 points against New England's 13. Everybody was expecting that game in Atlanta to be a shootout, but it turned out not to be. 3rd and 3 at the 20. And Goff throwing an incompletion. And here comes the field goal kicking team for LA. And this will be a 37-yard boot. Well, offense, now it's going to be 42.
5-yard penalty.
As Huffman gets called for the false start. They'll keep the field goal team in. The effort now 42 yards, and it's good. Into a stiff breeze. Barr, one of the Barr brothers who were so prominent in the NFL in the 70s and 80s, puts it through from 42, and it's 3-0 in favor of L.A. Hall back deep for Kansas City. We already introduced the kick return team. He's going to bring it out from the goal line, and he returns it 26 yards. So it'll be 1st and 10 at the 26. Tana's going to look for Tony Gonzalez here on a play-action medium pass. Complete. Good for a first down. Gain of 11. On the stop was Rich for LA. We'll go Richardson on a screen. 1st and 10 from the 37. And he's got it. That's a first. Past midfield. A gain of 17 yards. So 2 quick plays put Kansas City in LA territory. Pitch right to Charles on this first down play, and that's going to be a gain of 6. Deacon Jones making the stop. One of the innovators of the term quarterback sack. And we're going to stick with Charles, trap it up the middle, and he will get the first down, a pickup of 6. 3:04 left, and Kansas City will have that much time with a wind advantage, so we're going to make use of it. We're going to go medium slant to Gonzalez, 1st and 10 from the 34. That's an incompletion. Charles on the screen on 2nd and 10. Might as well keep throwing it. And that's a first down. Pick up a 12, and Les Richter making the stop for LA. 1st and 10 at the 22. Charles off tackle left. He's got a good little head of running room. 15 yards. Richter again making the stop at the 7. Gonzalez on a short hitch. Want to be throwing the ball with a wind advantage. That's an incompletion. Gonzalez looking for a flag, pleading his case, but not to be. We're going to pitch it to Charles on 2nd and goal from the 7. And Charles is in there. Touchdown, Chiefs. Jamal Charles on the score, giving the Chiefs a 6-3 lead. Point after. Good by Butker. And it's 7-3, and we still have 35 seconds left in the quarter. We get to introduce the LA kick return team of Arnett, Lewis, and Williams. And Arnett takes it in the end zone. The ball will be a touchback. 35 seconds left until they have a 10 to 20 mile wind at their backs. On 1st and 10, the throw complete to Tim Brown. Remember, he was an LA Raider, so he would qualify for this LA team. That's the end of the first quarter. Kansas City 7 and the Rams 3. Kansas City with actually I was looking at LA. Kansas City with 16 plays, 88 yards. LA 9 and 74. 1st and 10 at the 34. And it's Goff giving it to McCutcheon, who gains 12 yards. McCutcheon, 3 touches of the ball, carrying it for 45 yards. It's now 1st and 10 at the 46 with 14:45 left until the half. Looking for Brown over the middle, but the pass incomplete. He was double covered. 2nd and 10 at the 46, and Goff tried to punch it in anyway. This time, it goes right back to Tim Brown, a 12-yard gain. Tim Brown, of course, out of the University of Notre Dame. And so far on the year, 24 catches, 276 yards coming into this game. So add the 3 for 37 today. So that's what, 27 for 313. 1st and 10 at the 42 of the Chiefs. The throw is completed to Tank Younger, a gain of 8. Hallie making the stop. 2nd and 2 now at the 34. I think the Rams would be well advised to go play action here. But instead, it's dumped underneath to Younger. He fumbles it. Tim Brown, Johnny, on the spot. He makes the recovery. A gain of 6 on the play. And it's 1st and 10 at the 28. 12:28 left to go in the half. And it's Goff looking for Christensen over the middle. It is incomplete. Don't really have any Super Bowl stories for you all. I think everything has already probably been said about this Super Bowl. First Super Bowl I remember was Super Bowl 12. And I told you the story early in the week that I discovered that CBS had to scramble before the game because the Phoenix Open of '77, their final round coverage got rained out. And how often does it rain in Phoenix? That was an incompletion looking for Goff. Willie Lanier tipped it. 3rd and 10 at the 28. I vaguely remember Super Bowl 11, but my father was a meat cutter for Publix and was a very big Dallas Cowboy fan. And he grew up in New York, but he remembered Tom Landry from when he was a defensive coordinator for the New York Football Giants back in the late 50s. Here's another field goal attempt by Barr, jackpot, and it's 7-6 with 11:29 to go. So he set up 2 televisions. He had a TV in the front of the house, and somebody brought a TV over, and you could watch the game at either end of the house, which I thought was kind of cool. But this was back when we had Channel 13 here in Tampa, and they carried the game. Hall back deep for Kansas City. That's a touchback. 1st and 10 at the 20. And I remember my mother. There was this. She also worked for Publix at the time. Off tackle right for Jamal Charles. And incomplete. No gain. I'm sorry.
Defense. Number 99. 5-yard penalty.
Aaron Donald got called for offsides. 1st and 5 at the 25. Pitch right to Charles. Try to run it a little more now that we have the wind in our faces. And Charles with a 14-yard gain. So at Publix, the Indian Rocks Publix, which is in the southwest part of Largo, Florida, they had a vending machine where the kiddies could get NFL helmets. And it must have taken several quarters for my mom to get this done. But the vending machine spit out enough helmets to where she had the Dallas helmet and the Denver helmet, and it was featured prominently on a cake she made. Screen to Charles, 1st and 10. Remember, there were 28 teams in the NFL back then, so you could go through a lot of teams before you could get Dallas and Denver. Just think of the odds of that. 3-yard gain, Richter on the stop. 2nd and 7 at the 42. Medium hitch to J.T. Smith. My mother is still in the nursing home in Tampa, and this will be the first Super Bowl without her, unfortunately. 13-yard gain. It was to Smith, and Gray made the tackle. It was J.T. Smith. Yes, it was. And it's 1st and 10 at the L.A. 45. Cross to Tony Gonzalez. And he made a gain of 15 yards. And my mom has dementia, and I missed her on my birthday. I missed her for Christmas, and I'm going to miss her for the Super Bowl. Off tackle right, Jamal. I'm in a better place though. 4-yard gain, McLaughlin on the tackle. And it's now 2nd and 6 at the 26-yard line. We'll go screen to Richardson. 7:52 left in the half. And as I was speaking to you, the phone rang. So that's why I was a little confused. Gain of 6 and a 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 20. We'll go Bo, medium out. Incomplete. Montana has now thrown it 12 times, 8 completions for 78 yards. 2nd and 10 at the 20. Medium hitch to Tony G. But instead, it's a sack by McLaughlin on Montana. 3rd and 19, the ball at the 28. We'll screen it to Charles and just try to secure the field goal. Up 7-6, and that's incomplete. So into a stiff breeze, we'll send in Harrison Butker to try a field goal of 46 yards. And it's right down the middle, and it is 10-6 with 5:27 to go. Yeah, it was Lou. Okay. 5:22 left, and here's the kick to our net. Lou is one of my neighbors from Pinellas Park. 41-yard return out to the 43. And that was Marcellus making the tackle on Lewis. 1st and 10 at the 43. Give is to Younger. Ali on the stop, a loss of a yard. 2nd and 11 at the 42. Catch by Tim Brown, a gain of 9, and that brings up 3rd and 2. 4:17 left until half. An incompletion. And LA will punt. We'll watch for the fake punt. Things that happen while you're doing a football game. 26-yard punt was all Villanueva could get. Hall was looking for it at the 10. It was way farther up the field. And that is out at the 23. 1st and 10 for KC there. Charles off tackle right side. And Charles gaining 10 for a 1st down. And the ball resting now at the 33. We'll go 3 wide. We'll look to Dwayne Bowe. Hope I didn't call him Riddick Bowe in that moment of thought. 16-yard gain for him. Tackled by Irvin, and it's 1st and 10 at the 49. Charles, screen pass. And Charles past the 40, down to the 33. Kevin Green finally catching him there. And we're at the 2-minute warning. Montana now 10 of 15 for 112. 10-6 is your score. The Chiefs leading. And we'll go Smith on a medium fly route. That's a catch. Another 1st down, a gain of 16. Each team with all 3 timeouts and their challenge left will go no huddle. And we'll look to Tony Gonzalez, medium slant route. And finally an incompletion for Joe. 11 for 17, he's now at 128 yards. Look for Lionel Taylor on the short cross. That's caught. And KC will call their 1st timeout. They have 2 left. And it's 3rd and 3 at the 10. Let's see here. We'll go. Let's try to rush it. Charles on a dive on 3rd and 3. Try to catch him off guard. Gain of 2. And we're going to let the clock run down to 30 seconds before we kick a field goal. And we'll put Butker on there. 4 out of 5 chance he hits from 25, but it's going to be a 30-yard kick.
5-yard penalty.
Shields with the false start. 4th and 6. So the odds go down to 75% for this field goal try for Butker from 30. No good. He pushed it to the right side. Man, oh man, oh man. 27 seconds left. 1st and 10 at the 20. It's McCutcheon gaining 4, and that might do it for the 1st half. Now they're going to call another play. Younger gaining 3. And that will be it for the 1st half. And your score going into the 2nd half is KC 10 and LA 6. LA 22 plays, 127 yards. KC 31 for 203. So we'll get the 2nd half started. 10-6 is your score. Arnett, Lewis, and Williams back deep. And this is taken about a yard deep for Arnett. A gain of 16 on the return. He took it a couple of yards deep in the end zone. I'm going to turn on a light as it is rapidly getting dark here. So when I come back on camera, I'll be ready for it. So 10-6, KC leading. And it's Younger losing a yard. Ali making the stop. And it's 2nd and 11 at the 13. rushing game for LA has not been bad. 10 for 66 as a team. McCutcheon leading with 4 for 49. Kansas City has actually been doing good running the ball too. 13 carries and 77 yards as a team. The throw is for Younger. He gains 8 before Ali could make the stop. 3rd and 3, ball at the 21. An incompletion. 4th and 3 at the 21, and LA will punt it away. That is Hall. Got a Hall and a Holly playing for KC. A gain of 7 on the return. Bredzinski on the stop for LA. So 10-6. KC still leading. We'll look to Charles, off tackle right side. He has 11 carries for 71 yards and make that 12 for 82 after that 11-yard gain. Love teams that can run the ball. We'll sweep it left and go right back to Jamal Charles. In that double tight end formation, that's a gain of 3. Doesn't really matter the team, but I love to run the double tight. I think that's a great running formation. And we'll look to Richardson on a screen. 2nd and 7. But we have a marker down.
Start. Offense. Number 84. 5-yard penalty. Repeat. 2nd down.
And that is Smith. Getting called for the false start, so make it 2nd and 12. And we'll put the ball in the air. Try to get it all here with Otis Taylor. Instead, it's a dump off to Charles. He gains 3. 3rd and 9. 4 catches and 36 yards has Charles on the receiving side. We'll put Montana in the gun, go medium. And we're going to look to Smith, J.T. Smith. That's batted at the line by Aaron Donald. An incomplete pass. 4th and 9 now. Jarrell Wilson will punt. Taken about the 10 by Brown. And something happened here. A fumble, and Casey's got it. Brown took it at the 12. Burris forced the fumble, and it was Trier who pounced on it. And now Kansas City has a 1st and 10. We'll go Charles. Trap to the right side. And he gains 6. They're really pushing back this LA defensive line. Usually can rise to the challenge, but they're having trouble against the Chiefs here, and their offensive line only has 110 on it, and LA's defensive line has a 10 plus and a 10 on it. So, and a 3-yard loss. And speaking of the devil, just as I say that, it's Deacon Jones with a TFL, and that's going to be 3rd and 7. Tackle for loss. We'll screen it to Charles. 3rd and 7 at the 19. He completes it. And that's a gain of 9. Move the chains. A 1st down for KC. Montana now 14 of 21 for 147 yards. Charles. Trap left. And that's a gain of 6. 2nd and goal at the 4. Charles. Dive. Gains a yard, and it's a season high for Jamal. On his 17th carry, he's at 95 yards. 3rd and goal at the 3. I'm looking at some plays here. 31% chance on a trap left or a trap right that they score. 37% chance we can get Tony Gonzalez the ball and he scores. So I'm just going over odds. This is a crucial play. 7:33 to go. 37 and Kelsey is 36. Well, I'm just going to give it to Kelsey. Actually, 39% is your best odds. Jamal Charles. Pitch to the right side. And, yep, 4-yard loss. So Kansas City will try a field goal. Butker, an 81% chance he hits this from 24. And that's good. 13-6 is your new score with 6:17 left to go in quarter number 3. Arnett, Lewis, and Williams back deep. Taken in front of the goal line by Arnett. He returns it 23 yards to the 24 before Flowers. You don't bring me flowers anymore. Makes the tackle. 1st and 10 at the 24. It's Goff. Pitching it to McCutcheon. McCutcheon having a great game. Gain of 8. He has 5 carries for 57 yards. Why LA doesn't get him the ball a little more, I do not know. 2nd and 2. It's Younger. Not getting any older. Gain of 8. Bell on the stop for KC. Younger, 5 carries for 16 yards. He also has 3 catches for 22. And, of course, I got ahead of myself.
False start. Offense. Number 76. 5-yard penalty. Repeat. First down.
Wisniewski called for the false start. So make it 1st and 15 at the 35 with 4:36 left to go. The throw is an incompletion. 2nd and 15. Ball at the 35. 4:27. And that is McCutcheon gaining 11. Cherry making the tackle. 3rd and 4 at the 46. Here come the Rams. It's a catch by a Christensen, a gain of 8. Move the chains. 1st and 10 now at the KC 46. LA with the wind advantage, which KC will get in a few minutes. That's an incomplete pass. Goff was looking for Brown. 2nd and 10 at the 46. Still. Goff. A penalty, that's got to be.
Pass interference. Yep. Defense. Number 42, automatic, first down.
That's Robinson who gets called for pass interference. 1st and 10 at the 34. We'll look at Robinson a little more out of LSU. Played on those 60s teams when the Chiefs were in Super Bowl I and won Super Bowl IV. 1st and 10 at the 34. Incomplete. Check down to McCutcheon for Goff. Goff is 8 for 19, 76 yards, so the KC defense staying on his case. That's deflected by Lewis and incomplete. 3rd and 10. KC backing up. There's the throw to McCutcheon. McCutcheon gaining 6. They needed 10. 4th and 4 at the 28. They bring in Barr from 45. Good. And it's going to be 13 to 9 with 1:43 left to go. Hall, Charles, Holmes, all back deep, and that's got to be a touchback with the wind at 10 to 20 mile an hour and a temperature of 36 degrees at Arrowhead. Charles, off tackle right. No gain. Robertson pulled him down. We'll go 3 wide and look to J.T. Smith on the medium crossing route. Incomplete. 3rd and 10. Screen, Charles. And that's a 1-yard loss. So we'll punt it away. And it'll be Jarrell Wilson doing the honors. Brown back deep for LA. And he gets into KC territory. A return of 11 at the KC 48. 8 seconds left. 3rd quarter, 13-9 is your score. The throw, incomplete, looking for Tim Brown. I guess that ball must be getting cold with the 36-degree weather. 2nd and 10 at the 48. Christensen with the catch, a gain of 11 yards. So we have played 3 quarters. And it's still Kansas City 13 and the Rams 9. Rams with 36 plays, 186 yards. KC 44 for 234. Montana having a decent game, but Goff is not. 10 of 23 for 93. Charles is leading everybody that I see here with 6 catches and 44 yards. And Charles closing in on 100 rushing. Gain of 4 for McCutcheon behind Slater, Jackie Slater. Mays on the tackle. And it's 2nd and 6 at the 33. They give to Tank Younger, who gains 2. Lewis on the stop, and that'll make it 3rd and 4. So it's kind of like Ohio State, 3 yards in a cloud of dust. And this is going to be close but short of a first down marker as McCutcheon gains 3. Halley making the stop. 4th and 1 at the 28. Barr from 45. And it's blocked. And pounced on by Buchanan. And no return of note. 1st and 10 at the 38. And we'll send Charles in, and he will pitch to the right side. See if he can gain any yardage. Charles to the 40 to the 50. He gains 16. 107 yards on the day for Jamal. 1st and 10 at the 46 of LA. We'll go Richardson on a dive. He'll gain 3 up the middle. Aaron Donald on the tackle. 11:42 left in regulation. Sweep to the left side for Charles on 2nd and 7. Just try to eat up some clock here. Forced out of bounds. A 6-yard gain. 3rd and a yard. We'll sneak it with Montana. And he gets the first down. LA reviewing it.
Upon further review, the runner was stopped short of the first down. No timeout will be charged.
And with that, it is not a first down. It'll be 4th and inches. A field goal here would be a 72% chance. And we'll try it from 53. Here is Harrison Butker. It's dead, solid, perfect, and the Chiefs go back up 7 at 16-9. Nice kick for Butker with the wind behind them. Arnett back deep for LA. So it's been each team with 3 field goals. But the Rams trailing by the touchdown that the Chiefs scored in the first quarter when Charles ran it in for 7. I'm afraid I'm going to call him Ezzard Charles, the boxer, because I have Legends of Boxing now. It's going to be a 2nd and 10 from the 20. Was doing some Test Universe play last night, and one of my fights had Ezzard Charles in it. Yes, he won. 2nd and 10 from the 20. I was just picking guys out at random. And this is Christensen. Ball was on the ground, recovered by Tim Brown, and it was total a gain of 8. 3rd and 2 at the 28-yard line. Incomplete. 4th and 2, and LA will punt. And Hall with the fair catch at the 34. Punt went 38, no return, so the net will be 38. Kansas City has it, 1st and 10. And we're going to go Richardson, trap right. Because they might be keying on Charles. No, they were doubling Gonzalez. Gain of 2. Nolan Cromwell back in the game. He made the tackle. 2nd and 8 at the 36. Now we will go to Charles and we'll pitch it right, as we have been doing for the most part. And that's a gain of 0 as he got back to the line, and that was it. 8:05 to go. And we'll go Gonzalez on the slant route. Well covered. Incomplete. In fact, they had a double on them. 4th and 8. Jarrell Wilson coming in to punt, with the Chiefs leading by 7. Nice punt. Goes all the way to the 7. Return to 10 before Ross gets to him for Kansas City. So that was a 57-yard punt. The return of 10 makes it a net of 47. Chiefs leading 16-9. We are more than midway now through the 4th quarter. 1st and 10 at the 17. Here is Goff giving it to McCutcheon, who's been the best weapon for LA today. But he fumbles. And it's recovered by Willie Lanier. Kansas City's ball. McCutcheon had a gain there of somewhere in the neighborhood of 23 yards. We did not get the exact figure. He fumbled. Willie Lanier picked it up, returned it 3 yards back the other way. So after all of that, it was a 1st and 10 at the 36. So if he returned it 3 yards, then that was a 32-yard gain for McCutcheon. Simple math. Okay, 1st and 10 at the 36. Play action, long pass. We got to make them pay for the turnover. We'll go to Bo. Wind at the back of KC, and he's got it at gain of 20. But Kansas City really has to chew up the clock here a little bit. 6:51 to go. 1st and 10 at the 16. We will sweep left with Charles. He gains another 6 yards to go to 119 on the day. On the tackle is Les Richter, and I imagine he's going to be up among the leading tacklers. Kansas City slowing it down. They want to chew up some clock here. We're going to dive with Charles on 2nd and 4. That's a gain of a yard to get him to an even 120 on the day. Jamal Charles, let's profile him real fast. He's out of Texas. 93 yards in the game we did last week, Kansas City and San Francisco. So, now it's a 3rd and 3. By the way, stay tuned. I will show you the games of the week I will do next week. We'll spread the field and go 4 wide. We have Taylor and Hill coming into the game. Tariq Hill, and that's who we're going to. Short crossing route. 5:15 left to go, but that's incomplete. Of course, Tyreek Hill is one of the targets that Patrick Mahomes goes to. Mahomes wasn't in the historical collection of 2020, which we use for this second season of the Hometown Football League, because it didn't start until after the 2021 historical election. I'll put it this way: it was released after I started the second season of the Hometown League. So Butker will try one, an 85% chance he hits here from about 26 yards, and he gets it. 19-9. Nines are wild here in Kansas City. So LA now down 2 scores with 4:30 to go. Arnett again back deep. They need a big play, and they don't get it there. Touchback at the 20. Tom Fears and Red Phillips coming into the game for LA. So we'll go through the receivers. Fears is 80. Brown 81. Ellard 85, and Red Phillips is 82. So LA needs a score, and they need one quickly.
Holding offense. Number 82, 10-yard penalty.
Had the play stood, McCutcheon would have gone over 100 yards, but he did not. Red Phillips gets called for holding. 1st and 20 at the 10, I should say. And it's Goff over the middle looking for Red Phillips, so he atones, and he gets those 10 yards he gave up on the penalty right back. 2nd and 10, the ball at the 20 now with 4:10 to go. And it is Brown making the catch. Lewis on the tackle. 1st and 10 at the 32. 3:46 to go. Goff now up to 13 of 28 for 123. McCutcheon, a loss
Holding
of 2.
offense. Number 22, 10-yard penalty.
But we'll take the holding penalty and wipe that out. 1st and 20 at the 22. That is Phillips gaining
Offsides.
13.
Defense. Number 86, 5-yard penalty.
They will accept the penalty, make it 1st and 15 as opposed to 2nd and 8. And Goff looking. Another penalty.
Pass interference. Defense.
That's a first down
Number
for the Rams.
42, 5-yard penalty. Automatic. First down.
Robinson makes it 1st and 10 at the 32. New set of downs for LA, which is the last thing Kansas City needed. Did we have another?
Pass interference.
Yes, we do.
Defense. Number 18, 5-yard penalty. Automatic. First down.
Okay, so we're seeing a flurry of penalties. That was the 11th penalty of the game. 1st and 10 at the 37. LA with 5 of them, KC with 6 of them. 32 yards and 35 yards and 37 yards respectively, LA, KC. 2nd and 10 at the 37. It's still 19-9. And that is Fears, 10 yards, but short of the first down. 3rd and inches at the 47 of LA. Quick throw, incomplete. I gotta think the Rams will go for it here, and they will. 4th and inches, 2:51 to go. Might be their last gasp, and it is an incompletion. Goff now 14 of 32. 1st and 10 at the LA 47. And we're going to go Richardson on a trap right. Give him a few carries. He will gain 3 yards. Jones on the tackle for LA. LA calling time. They have 2 left. 2 timeouts left. And by the way, Kansas City with 3 and the challenge, which they could still use until the 2-minute warning. Pitch to Charles. And that's back to the line, and that's it. We'll take it to the 2-minute warning. 19-9, Kansas City leading. 3-1. We'll go 3 wide receivers, 1 running back. How about a screen pass on 3rd and 7? Oh, it's incomplete. That was a mistake. 4th and 7. We have to punt it now. Should have just ran it. Force LA to call another time. Out. Jarrell with the pooch. A punt, not a dog. That goes out at the 14. The punt went 30. And with 1:46 left, LA taking over at the 14. Long throw. Incomplete.
Roughing the passer.
Oh!
Defense. Number 69. 15-yard penalty. Automatic. 1st down.
Allen gets called for roughing the passer, and it's 1st and 10 at the 29. The throw, an incompletion. 2nd and 10 at the 29 with 1:29 left to go. Incompletion.
Personal foul. Defense.
Oh.
Number 20. 15-yard penalty. Automatic. 1st down.
Kansas City committing a lot of stupid penalties here. 1st and 10 at the LA 44. Rams got 56 yards to go now. That is caught by Red Phillips, a gain of 14. And it's now 1st and 10 at the 42 of the Chiefs with 1:13 left. They need a touchdown and a field goal. Incomplete pass. Goff now 15 of 35 for 147. 2nd and 10 at the 42. Incomplete. Goff with 6 bad passes today, say our scouts. 3rd and 10 now. Ball at the 42. And Goff. Another incompletion, so he's now 15 of 37. 4th and 10. I'm going to play 3-1 quarter short zone pass. And the throw is another incompletion. Rams still have 2 timeouts, but they cannot stop the clock after they use the 2 timeouts. So Montana's going to take a knee. LA will call time. Montana will take a knee. LA calls their last timeout despite the fact that they're 10 down. And that'll do it. 19-9 is your final score. We had 7 field goals in the game. MVP, Jamal Charles, who scored the lone touchdown. Barr hit from 42, 45, and 45. Butker hit from 46, 24, 53, and 26. Hike! And here are your team stats. Defensive struggle, we had less than 600 yards total. If my math is correct, it was 560. We had 14 penalties of the game, and Kansas City was committing some stupid penalties near the end. They ran 61 plays, held the ball 35-30 to LA's 55 and 24 and a half minutes, respectively. Each team struggled on 3rd down. LA was 1 of 10, and Kansas City was 1 of 13. So collectively, they were 2 of 23. Better passing day was Montana's, 16 of 27, 166 yards. Charles, 25 carries for $120. McCutcheon just missing out on 100, 9 of 97. Leading pass catcher Charles with 6 catches for 44. But in yardage terms, Brown led, 5 for 58. And the leading tackler was Richter. Told you he might be there, leading the way with 8 tackles. So Kansas City is going to move to 3-3 on the year, and Los Angeles is going to fall 2-4. Las Vegas and San Francisco will be tied 5-1. Denver will be the lone team one game back at 4-2. So, what do we do next week? We start week number 7 here in the HTFL. I'm going to check off the games we're going to do right now. We got Minnesota and Detroit. And that will be a big battle in the North Division. We will do that game on Monday. On Tuesday, let's look at the second column. We got 2-4-2 games. We'll go to Tampa and we'll watch New Orleans play Tampa Bay on Tuesday. It was either that or St. Louis and Cleveland, who I think we have also done numerous times. Our third game will be Houston and Atlanta. Our fourth game, big game here, San Francisco and Las Vegas for control of the Eastern Division. And our Monday game on a Friday will be New England and Pittsburgh. So again, our games next week will be Minnesota, Detroit on Monday, New Orleans, Tampa Bay Tuesday, Houston, Atlanta on Wednesday, San Francisco, Las Vegas next Thursday, New England and Philadelphia on Friday, and of course that's Lord willing and if the creek doesn't rise. So this has been Big Paulie coming to you. Enjoy the Super Bowl. We got some videos coming out tomorrow and Sunday, Super Sunday number 56. We do the HTBL on both days. We have the Professional Wrestling Tour on Saturday. And we have OOTP coming to you on Sunday. So y'all enjoy your weekend, and we'll catch you then. Me and Ella say bye-bye for now, everybody.